Lovely learners, and welcome once again to another episode of our virtual lesson. This is your facilitator, Sir Emmanuel. What do we have at the moment? We have mathematics, and we want to talk about numbers as our strand, and the sub-strand is fraction. And basically, we want to talk about proper fraction, improper fraction, and then mixed fraction. Our objectives, what we want to be able to learn after the end of the lesson. 1. To identify proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fraction. And also to be able to change improper fraction to mixed fraction. As we are about to start our main objective, I want to be able to prepare. Take your book and start making some notes. When you want to write, pause the video. Then you write something small down. Okay, let's start with our first objective. We say proper fraction. What I thought is proper fraction. The proper fraction is when the numerator is less than the denominator. You ready? For us to be able to know the numerator and the denominator, let me explain that to you. When we say numerator is the upper number. This one, we call it the what? Numerator. This is the numerator, okay? And then when you say this is a fraction, okay? And this becomes the what? The denominator. So denominator. If you can't spell it like that, you're able to spell it. Denominator. So the top one, the upper fraction or the upper number is the numerator, and then the down number is the denominator. Okay. Now, what do you want to learn? You want to learn fractions based on what? This is proper fraction. So I will explain what numerator is, and then the what denominator is to you. So now we know denominator and you know numerator. The upper one is the numerator, and then the down one is the denominator. So we are saying that when you see the fraction, and then the upper number, which is the numerator, is less, is small, and then the down one, that is the denominator, is higher or bigger or greater, then we say that that fraction is proper fraction. That fraction is proper fraction. Example, what you are seeing here. 1 out of 3. 1 is what? Bigger than what? Smaller than 3. 2 is also smaller than 4. 3 is also smaller than 8. And 1 is smaller than 20. So all these fractions you are seeing, they are what? Proper fraction. They are proper fraction. Let's quickly look at improper. Improper. When you see something is improper, you yourself is like something that is abnormal. Okay? It's abnormal. It doesn't happen like that. So when you say improper fraction, okay, when you say improper fraction, they are fractions which the numerator is more or greater than the denominator. So vice versa. Okay? Vice versa. You can say that improper fractions are fractions which the numerator is more or greater than the denominator. When you see that, then you say that is what? It's improper. Improper. Now, example, 3 out of 1. 3. The numerator is what? Bigger. It's like a small boy carrying a big load. Small big boy, like the Benjamin, carrying a big load. You see that? You can't even carry it. For example, you see that's what? Improper. That's improper. So examples, 3 out of 1 is an example. 5 out of 2. You see that the numerator is what? Is greater or is more than the what? The denominator, as you can see that. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so look at 7 out of 3. 7 is what? Greater or more than what? The 3, which is the denominator. So when you see this, we call it what? Improper fraction. Another one I want to know is mixed fraction. The next thing is mixed fraction. Mixed fraction is a fraction with a whole number and a proper fraction. You already know what a proper fraction is, okay? You already know what a proper fraction is. So When you see it's a whole number, so you see a whole number and you see a proper fraction. When you see that, you see it's mixed. It's mixed. Okay. So example is what? This. Example is this. Example. One whole number. This is a whole number. One whole number. 2 out of 3. Okay. And 2 out of 3 is a proper fraction. So when you see this, we call it this mixed fraction. 1 out of one whole number and 1 out of what? 2. This is what? A mixed fraction, because this is a whole number and this is what? The numerator and then the denominator, and the numerator is smaller than the what? The denominator. So it's a proper fraction with what? A whole number. The same thing you are seeing. So all these examples are what? Are mixed fraction. So the main thing we want to know while we are discussing all these is to be able to change improper fraction to mixed fraction, and vice versa. We can also change mixed fraction to improper fraction. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So first of all, pay attention carefully here, so that we can do this quickly and you'll be able to do something for me or learn from me. Okay, now this is a mixed improper fraction. When you see this, it's a disaster. It's like sun is shining during the night. It's a disaster. It doesn't happen like this. When you do something like this, you have to make sure you do something by it or for it to dissolve this. Okay, so we have this improper fraction and we want to change it to what? To proper fraction and then a whole number. To proper fraction and a whole number. That is a mixed fraction. So first of all, when you see this, let this denominator, okay, divide this, go into this. So I have 2 here. Let's say this is my whole number. Let's say this is my 3. 1, 2, 3. And this and 2. How many 2's will go inside this? How many 2's? 1, 2. So I have only 1, 2, right? So 1, 2. And how many is left? 1. 1 is left. So the 1 left, write it with the whole, the denominator, the main denominator. So that is out of the 2, the same denominator. So you see, so 2 will go into 3. How many times? It will go inside only 1 time. So that's the 1 time. It's a whole number. And then, how many number will be left? What to be left? The left is what? Become the numerator. Then you use the same denominator for it to become a proper fraction. So this is a mixed fraction. A whole number with what? A proper fraction. Let's move on to the next example. And if you don't mind, pause the video, okay? And then you do it yourself before you listen again. So let's continue. Let's continue quickly. Now we have this improper fraction. This improper fraction. We want to change it to what? Mixed fraction. So I said I can write it down. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have my 5 for digit numbers, right? How many 2's? I want to know the number of 2's that can enter into what? To 5. So 1, 2. So this is my first 2. 1, 2. Second 2. And the number is left. 1 is left. So how many 2's do we have? We have 2 2's. 2. So the number of times the 2 enter, you write as a whole number, okay? And then the left, the remainder, you write as a fraction, as a remainder. So 1, and then you write this one. The denominator, the main denominator as what? The denominator again. So this becomes what? Mixed fraction. Mixed fraction. So a whole number with a proper fraction. Let's continue quickly. To catch up time, let's continue quickly. Now, I have 9 here. Not always that you'll be able to write the digits, plenty like that. Maybe sometimes it's a big number. So just what? Multiply the numbers. Find the multiples of the numbers. So let's say 4, 1, 4. 4 to 8, right? 4, 3 will be more than 9. So I don't need 8. I don't need that. The 4, 3. So 4, 2. So the number of 2, the number of 4 is what? 2. Okay. How many number? What will be the remainder? So subtract 8 from the 9. What will you get? So 9 minus 8, you get 1 as a numerator. Then you write the denominator for it. That is out of what? Out of 4. Out of 4. Okay. Out of 4. Okay. Good. So we have find our what? This we have changed it to what? To mixed fraction. You can get back your improper fraction. You can get it back. Okay. You can just do it and get it back. If you want to get it back, let's start from the beginning here. If you want to get mixed fraction back, okay, 2, you first 2 will multiply this and then add it to this. So we say 2 times 1 will give you what? The same 2 plus 1. What will we get? 3. Out of the 2, the same 2. Okay, so I've got back my improper fraction. I've got back my improper fraction. The same thing. If I want to change, you can change this. You can change this. 2, so 2 times 2. Let me write it here for you. I change it back to what? Mixed fraction. So 2 times 2 plus the 1. So 2 times the whole number. 2 times the whole number and add the numerator to it. The denominator times the whole number plus the numerator plus the numerator. So 2 all over the denominator, okay, all over the denominator, okay. So 2 times 2, what will you get? 4 plus 1, 5 out of the 2. So this is equal to 5 out of 2. You see that is interesting. So you can change this back to our improper fraction. You can change it back to our improper fraction, okay. The same thing that you do to this one too. So if you like, pause the video and do it quickly. So 4 times 2. 4 times 2. So let me write it here for you so that you see it. 4 times the 2. 4 times the whole number. Plus the 1. Plus the 1. All out of the denominator. All out of the denominator. Have you seen that? Yes. So 4 times 2 will give us 8. 8 plus 1 will give us what? 9. Out of the denominator, that is 4. So we can change our mixed fraction back to our improper fraction. So vice versa, you can change improper fraction to mixed fraction and also mixed fraction to improper fraction. Now you know proper fraction, improper fraction, mixed fraction to you have no need. So you can change mixed fraction to improper fraction and you can also change improper fraction to mixed fraction. It's very hard for me. I love you all. We say goodbye.